So, quick thing, we've got very simple code right now. We've got these two balls that move on the screen. And I know, it's like nothing new, right? We can see, and then they leave and they never come back. So if we wanted to come back, I could, of course, come down here and do the whole if x1 is greater than width, x1 gets 0. And then I could also do if x2 is greater than width, x2 gets 0. Right, we could do that, yeah? Yes. I hate waiting. And of course, I could tweak it so that it's smoother, right? We've done that before. This is nothing new. But what if I wanted like 10 circles moving? That'd be a lot of work, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, because we would need 10 x's and 10 y's, and we would need
there's people in the other room. Sorry.
10 if statements to keep track of when it was leaving, right? And that would be a pain in the butt. And then if I wanted 20, I would need even more. So there's another thing we can do. We're going to introduce an idea called arrays. All right? So first I'm going to show you, kind of explain what arrays are a little bit. Assuming I can get my computer to show up here. There it is, yes. We've talked about variables. Variables are kind of like a container that you can put something in. Arrays are like a container with a series of cells that we can put stuff in.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
I said, oh yeah, because you're talking about this.
So, that's why I'm here. I want to go ahead and make sure I don't get any notifications. All right. So, like I said, when we create a variable, it's kind of like I've got a bucket here, and I write the name of the variable on there, x1, and I put a number inside of it. And then when I say something like x1 gets x1 plus 1, what we're saying is whatever number is in there, that's going to be this. So 200 plus 1 is 201. I erase whatever number was there, and I now write 201, right? Again, this is nothing new. What we're doing now, though, is we're going to create an array. An array is kind of like I took a bunch of buckets and I welded them together. And I call these all x position. So far, so good. And I can put a different number in each one of those buckets. So far, so good. So now my x position array can hold all of my x positions. And I could create an array for my y positions also. And then if I want to access those, I can access each of them individually. Okay? I can access each of those individually because anything in an array is numbered. So this would be 0, this would be 1, because computers, so I've got 4 things, but computers, when they count, they don't start counting at 1. They typically start counting at 0. So the first thing is 0. So if I've got 4 things in my array, the biggest number is 3. Okay? And the smallest is 0. We call these the index of the array. So then if I wanted to make just this one get bigger, I would write x position. And then I put in square brackets, and then I put the index that I want to change. Are you with me? So this whole thing now is like the variable name, and it refers to just this bucket. So I could say that gets x position plus 5, and then that would say, okay, erase the 200 and write 205 in there instead. So far, so good? Now, I know you have no idea how this is going to make your life easier yet, and that's okay. Piece at a time. This is what an array is. So we could have a whole long array. We could do that. We could have done the same thing with our gallery app, where we could have put all of the images into an array of images, and then we could just cycle between the images. just by changing that value right there. We wouldn't have not needed any single if statements or any extra functions to do it. So what do I mean by that? So let's jump back here for a second, and I'll.
Good afternoon, Falcons. We will take this